for more on this, let's go to Jason J. Smart, who's a political scientist based in Kyiv. Jason, welcome to TRT World. So we know Ukraine has been pleading for these F-16s for such a long time. How significant is this?
Well, this is very significant. I mean, the United States has been very clear from the beginning that it had its doubts, if it was necessary, if it could do it. But now, a lot of the coalition partners from NATO have come to the forefront and said that they are willing to send their own. Countries like the Netherlands have in total only about 24 F-16s, which they are phasing out in the next couple of years. And they already had some up for sale. But at this point, they are very keen to transfer them to Ukraine. And the United States has given the green light for that. So this is a great sign that will allow Ukraine to better protect the civilians from naked Russian aggression.
Mm-hmm. What do we know about when they will actually be in use? Because I know there's a lot of training involved.
So the training, if it goes well, it would give us some point next year. The F-16s are free to move when they are, but the Danish government has said today, and the Dutch have repeated similar phrases, that, training has to finish first. There's really, truly no point in transferring them until Ukraine has the pilots ready to be able to use them. And so we should be expecting this at some point next year. I mean, it's a long time to wait, but obviously it's a step in the right direction.
Indeed. And just explain what difference on the battlefield this will make.
So there's two different things that it will do. One is that obviously allows Ukraine to have the ability to control the skies. Russia has nothing equivalent to the F-16. Secondly, it allows Ukraine to be able to fire into Russian-occupied areas or areas from which Russia is advancing different sorts of munitions that it cannot currently fire or shoot. At this point, I think it is a step in the right direction that Ukraine, obviously it's nothing similar to an F-16. I mean, the airplanes that Ukraine currently has are airplanes that came from the Soviet Union. So this is one of the best international weapons airplanes is something that will definitely change the battlefield for Ukraine's interest.
So Russia, of course, is hearing this announcement that the F-16s are on the way. How do you think Russia will counter this? Because I don't think they're going to sit on their laurels and just wait for these F-16s to arrive.
But Russia is obviously upset by this, and they're not delighted by any means. At the same time, Russia has chosen this path for itself. It will use, as it always has, empty threats, words that mean nothing. The former prime minister and president, Dmitry Medvedev, undoubtedly will make nuclear threats and saber rattle. But the truth of the matter is this, is that Russia has no ability to respond. We should never give them too much credit. Let's be honest. Russia is not a country that has enough capability to do anything to counter the decision of the Dutch, Danish, and the United States in the decision to transfer these weapons.
That's a bold statement. And how do you think, okay, there'll be rhetoric, you say, but how do you think they'll react? Because there are reports that the F-16s could have some vulnerabilities that Moscow could exploit. What do you make of that?
I think that's simply false. The fact is this, is that the Russian government as a whole is unable to deal with modern warfare. Their military is largely a military from the 1980s. We've seen them roll out tanks and other vehicles from the 1950s, from the 1940s, and from every decade thereafter. And so I think that Russia's ability to do anything about F-16 is laughable at best. Russia is a country that is simply a third world country trying to pretend to be a serious nation. But in fact, its military has shown that it's not.
Jason, just very, very briefly, is this now, the F-16s, are they enough to win or just to fight?
They are enough to help advance the war. It is not enough to win. This will definitely assist, but this will not change the war in a way that will allow Ukraine a decisive victory tomorrow. Okay. It will take time, no matter what happens.
All right, Jason, great to speak to you. Jason J. Smart speaking to us from Kyiv. Thank you.
Thank you.